contrary to what I've been saying, I don't want to make videos like this. I really don't. The gaming will come out later, but for now, I'm gonna have to use this to like hold you off until the gaming gets here. I think I should be posting a gaming video within the next 5 days. Within the next 5 days, look out for an Overwatch video, guys. Alright. But yeah, let me get into this. So there's this big group called Feminist Frequency, and it's been they're pretty old now. But I was just looking on YouTube, and I saw all of it. Like, for some reason, I was just hit with all these videos on specifically this one video that Feminist Frequency made about women being skinny in video games, or how they like to call it, slender body types. And I watched so many videos, and then when I watched the original video itself, I was like, yeah, this is completely retarded. So I decided to just want to make a video with it, just to sound my opinion, you know, and all that stuff. Okay, so I know the video is 2 years old, so everything that happened before this was made, throw it out. So just give me a second. Alright, I'm clear. And last time my intro took too long, so this one will not take too long. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
At their annual BlizzCon event in 2014, the wildly successful game studio Blizzard Entertainment showed off a new game they had in the works called Overwatch. And from that first reveal, it was clear the appeal of Overwatch resided in its cast of characters, a diverse assortment of heroes, each with unique traits and abilities. The roster revealed at BlizzCon included men and women, sentient robots, and super intelligent gorillas. However, for all the apparent variety and diversity in the heroes Blizzard showed off at the game's debut, there wasn't much diversity to be seen in the body types represented by the female heroes. The male characters introduced that day included the towering knight Reinhardt, the sturdy engineer Torbjorn, the agile archer Hanzo, and the hulking simian scientist Winston.
Now, yes, they do diversify in body types, but that is only because of their abilities. Now, Hanzo, he's an agile sniper. As you said, he wields a bow. Obviously, Winston, he's a gorilla. Of course he's going to be fat. Reinhardt, big fat guy, lots of armor, has a shield. Of course it's going to fit their abilities. So I don't know why you're going to complain about the women body types, because their body types will also fit their abilities, and I'll get into that later.
Among others. The 5 female characters introduced consisted of the slender adventurer Tracer, the slender healer Mercy, the slender support character Symmetra, the slender sniper Widowmaker, and the slender but well-armored security chief Pharah.
It's clear to me this woman has never played Overwatch in her entire life. I mean, Tracer, she's a flanker. You wouldn't want a 500-pound flanker just making a bunch of noise behind your team. That's super obvious. Widowmaker, she's an agile sniper. And, of course, she's going to be slender. Mercy, the other team's main priority is to kill the Mercy. You wouldn't want her hitbox to be so huge. Pharah, she's well armored and she has lots of agility. Their body types fit their abilities. And what about Zarya and Mei? Like, Mei, 250 HP. Everyone else has either 200 HP or lower that I just mentioned. Like Widowmaker, Mercy, they all have 200 HP or lower. Mei, she's 250 HP, and she's like slightly chubby and all that. What about Zarya? She's a tank. She has 400 HP. Like, Jesus, you don't mention them now, do you? And before anyone says, oh, that's when the final release was, she's talking about the earlier release. Yeah, the final release was already done before this was even made.
Overwatch was hardly alone in having all of its female characters share a similar physique. In Ultra Street Fighter 4, characters such as Dalsum, Hakan, E. Honda, Rufus, and Vega represent a significant range of male body types. Looking at the roster of female characters, however,
Again, it just fits their abilities. Of course, you wouldn't want a 500-pound woman doing triple backflip cartwheel kicks and then throwing 50 fireballs in midair, because like looking at that definitely wouldn't be weird. Just try to imagine that a 500-pound woman doing cartwheel kicks, triple backflips, and freaking throwing 500 fireballs out of one hand in one somersault. Just imagine, just quickly imagine that and tell me if that seems natural to you. And I swear to God, if I get one comment saying, "Oh, well, you just proved their point. You're saying 500-pound women can't do cartwheels." No, I never said they can't. You can search it up. Like, it's possible. It's just you're never just gonna see a casual Joe, just a 500-pound person, doing a cartwheel and triple backflips like it's their job. You're not gonna see that. Like, you may see them do it like once or twice, but you're never gonna see them just somersault, triple 80, 360, 1440 no scope. You're not gonna see them doing that like casually.
While some may be a bit taller than others or have slightly larger thighs, not one of them represents a notable departure from the slender body type that has been established as the standard of conventional female attractiveness. Similarly, when we look at the champions on offer in the hugely popular MOBA League of Legends, we see the designers employing a wonderful range of body shapes and proportions across dozens of male characters. From the classic muscular warrior physique of Taric, to the hefty beer belly of Gragas, to the cartoonishly disproportionate body of Dr. Mundo. There isn't any one male body type that is presented as the standard default male body type.
I swear she actually has to be like insane in the brain. Like literally, maybe not in League of Legends because there are a bunch of monsters and crazy weird. Like look at that rat right there. That's there might be a lot of monsters and crazy leopards and geckos and stuff. But in like other fighting MOBAs like Overwatch that you brought up earlier, you don't say anything about all the heroes being either muscular or tall or big or intimidating. You don't say anything about that, but then you're complaining about women being skinny. Really, you're complaining about women being skinny, but you don't care about how all the men are either muscular or intimidating in any way, shape, or form. Are you okay?
And the value of these characters is definitely not connected to their sexual desirability. But when we look at the female heroes, there's nothing approaching the diversity we see on the male side of the roster. There are a few noteworthy variations from the standard. Illaoi is somewhat more muscular than many of the female characters. Jinx has smaller breasts, and there's the cute gnome-like Tristana. But the overwhelming majority of female characters make it clear that a slender figure with prominent breasts is viewed as the standard for female character design. Likewise, in Dota 2, male heroes can be handsome or comical, outlandish or grotesque.
Again, this is in Dota 2. In Dota 2, there are a lot of characters that are very outlandish, especially on the female roster. Just because they have the same body type does not mean they have the same abilities. Like, there's a bunch of squid people in Dota 2, or there's like, I don't know, I've never played Dota 2, but from what I've seen, I have a friend that loves Dota 2 and hates League of Legends, and I love League of Legends, and he hate Dota 2, so, square up. But aside from this whole League of Legends Dota 2 thing, in Dota 2, from what I've watched, there are a lot of outlandish characters on both sides of the gender. Like, there's a bunch of outlandish comical males, and there's a bunch of outlandish comical females. They're both outlandish, okay? That does not mean you get to say, oh, this game is sexist because there's no fat people in this game. There are fat women in video games. I've searched and I found them. Like, you can look for them yourself, but nobody's just going to like make a fat woman in a video game just because. Like, you don't do that. You have to make sure it fits the abilities and all that, okay? Now, if there's like in Overwatch, there's Zarya. She's a very strong tank. She has 400 HP. Now, if you were to make another very strong fat woman as a tank and she has like a bunch of HP, that would be reasonable. But if you had like a fat healer or something that's just gonna get tanking all of your damage, there'd be literally no point in making that hero.
While female heroes are mostly relegated to being standard humanoid characters, characters with...
This is what I mean. In Dota 2, there's a bunch of... Look at that girl in the bottom left corner. Look at all the people on the bottom. Just look at everyone on the bottom and just let that soak in. And she's complaining about them being humanoid characters. I'm actually done.
Conventionally attractive facial features. Where are all the female rock creatures, skeletal priests, and whatever this thing is?
Where are all the male dragon thing with horns, random green thing, purple thing, and other purple thing?
This isn't just an issue in fighting games, MOBAs, and other titles that give players a range of characters to choose from. Female characters across the board are often limited to that same specific body type.
I should kill you. Doing all right there? Stay away from her! Sure you want to let him go?
Yeah, I don't know why you would bring up this game. This game is about butts, volleyball, and beach volleyball, and a bunch of butts, and the rest of that good stuff, alright? So I don't know why you're bringing this video game up.
And this guy wants me to trust him.
Did you know that everyone you just showed are complete badasses? There was one person wielding lightsabers, another person was wielding a chainsaw. There was one person with a gun. Every woman is a badass. Catwoman, they're all badasses. And that's why they're all slender. Like, because they need to have that thin figure so they can do inhuman things that they do.
It's as if male characters are free to embody whatever physique best communicates their person.
Quick timeout. You compare Ash to this monstrosity right here, and you have the audacity to oh my...
Personality or abilities. But when it comes to the designs of female characters, that kind of imagination and creativity often doesn't seem to exist. Rather than seeing such an exciting range of female characters, we mostly get the same body type over and over again. One designed to be sexually appealing to the presumed straight male player.
Look, I'm not against feminism. I would really like it for everyone to be equal. Except when you go out of your way to complain about video games for having skinny women... you're just raising the bar on stupidity on that one. I'm sorry.
This reliance on the same body type for so many female characters isn't just boring, it's harmful. It links our value as human beings within the culture to our desirability to men, and it reinforces our culturally influenced ideas about who gets to be considered desirable and who doesn't.
First of all, are you really saying that just because there's not a lot of fat women in video games, that men don't like fat women? Second of all, you're saying presumed straight male player, and I'm not saying that girls don't play video games, they just care about beauty, meh. No. It's kind of like a fact that most male play video games, and I'm not saying that in a sexist way, but it's kind of just a fact. You can do your research.
The problem is exacerbated by the fact that when we do see representations of women with different body types, they're often presented as a joke, as in Fat Princess. Or they're pathologized and presented as a twisted transgression of the established feminine ideal, as in the case of the evil lesbian psychopath Joe Slade in Dead Rising.
Let's see just how shameless you are, you dirty little skank. Say hello to my little friend. No, not again!
When the majority of women who populate these game worlds are designed from the same narrow template, the problem isn't just what we're seeing in games, it's what we're not.
These three right here, they're all badasses that do inhuman things. That's why they're all skinny. Jesus Christ, why can't you get that through your head?
Seeing. The fact that fat women and women with different body shapes aren't featured in these worlds reinforces the false notion that these women are less valuable and less worthy of recognition than those women whose bodies come closer to matching the cultural beauty standard.
Now she's saying that just because there's not a lot of fat women in video games, that fat women are less valuable than skinny people. Yeah, guys.
These limitations on creativity when it comes to female characters don't stop with body type. We also don't see the same range of ages commonly represented as we do with male characters. It's not unheard of to see male soldiers, fighters, and heroes who appear to be in their 40s, 50s, and even older.
You're right.
Oh my god, dude, Sam, I totally agree. She is right. I mean, yeah, not a lot of women in video games are old, but what about Anna? Earlier you were talking about, Overwatch. What about Anna? Yeah, you may be saying, oh, she's slender. She's a healer and she's a sniper. She has to be agile. That's why she's skinny. So, I'm waiting for you to explain something. You dumb
Playable female characters, on the other hand, are almost always young, and it's for the same reason that so many of them have the same body type.
I mean, just like I explained, Anna, she's old and she's skinny. Oh my god, can you name off some old characters, and I just want to tell you if they're skinny or not, just so I can just punch you in the face and say, haha, you're wrong.
They're intended to be sexually appealing to straight male players. The result is that we have plenty of representations of male characters who communicate that men can continue to be active, vital, and powerful over the course of their lives. Meanwhile, the absence of older playable female characters wrongly suggests that women's value is tied directly to their beauty and youth, and that when they're older, that value is all used up.
So you're pretty much saying that when women are old, they've lost everything, they can't do anything. What about Anna? Okay, I'm going back to Anna, and I'm going to keep going back to Anna because you trash talked Overwatch, and I'm not letting that go. So, what about Anna? Yeah. Still waiting for that explanation.
There aren't many good examples of prominent positive representations of women with different body types in major contemporary games. In Life is Strange,
I'm zooming in on her body just to show you guys that she's not slender at all, and she's a minor. So, yeah, that kind of negates all of your BS explanations.
there's the minor character Alyssa, a classmate of Max, the protagonist.
I didn't know you were a sci-fi geek like us. What's your favorite?
In Assassin's Creed Syndicate, there's Agnes McBean, owner of the train which becomes the hero's base of operations.
Then may I present to you Agnes and Bertha, Lady and Locomotive.
And in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Kreia is a great example of a capable, powerful, older female character.
You just admitted it yourself. And look, she's not fat at all. That negates your explanation. You're literally negating your own explanations.
I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine.
Let's go back to Overwatch for a moment. Since that initial reveal, a few female heroes have been added to the roster. There's Mei and Zarya, both of whom have body types that are notably different from those of the originally announced female characters.
Anna, reporting for duty.
And more recently, Blizzard announced the game's next hero, Anna, who's both an older woman and a woman of color. These characters are welcome and encouraging additions, but really they're just a start.
Oh, now you want to bring up them. Now you want to bring them up. No, it's too late. You want to keep going on your dumb rant about how this stupid.
Game developers need to continue actively working towards creating the same range and diversity of female body representations that we see among male characters. When female characters' bodies are liberated from the need to uphold narrow, limiting cultural beauty standards, the resulting range of representations can not only make games themselves more interesting, it can encourage us to see all women as the desirable, valuable, autonomous, fully human individuals that we are.
Yeah, the thing that she said in the last part, she said that if there was more fat women in video games, that would make the video games more interesting, and B, it would make all women seem like they were humans and seem like they were more desirable. That's basically what she's saying, guys. Okay. Let me gather my thoughts, because I really hate this. All right, this video sucked. All right, they're basically complaining about how there's not old women in video games and how there's not fat women in video games. That's literally what they're doing. And they're saying, video games are sexist. You don't have a fat woman in a video game, you're sexist. That's basically what they're saying. Alright, I hope you guys did like this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Guys, gameplay will come out hopefully after, hopefully either tomorrow or someday during this week. But yeah, I hope you guys had a fantastic New Year's Eve, had a fantastic Christmas, had a fantastic all of that. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. It has been, yeah, boy. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.